2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympics. And the opening ceremony was last night.
Hello. Come on. Good evening. How y'all doing? Can y'all make sure you hit the like button for me? I'm trying to find me some music. I don't know why my Wi-Fi internet gets stuck on here sometimes. It's like it move when it want to move. Come on. Like it'll move later. Hey, Bama. How you doing? What's been up with you today? Why my mouth seems so pointed? Did I smile so much? How was your day today? Baby yet? Or they inducing next Friday? They inducing next week? Or is that just the expected date? Or did you come in here and speak and get away from the phone? Because I got nothing. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Classy Lady. Thank you all for coming over. If you are new to my channel, would you please consider subscribing to me? I am a new YouTuber. And hit the like button for me. Normally my first 5 minutes, if you come on at any other time, my first 5 minutes is normally me waiting for the chat to fill up and then me speaking to whoever drops down in my chat. So with that being said, I do have a good bit of shorts that I've uploaded and some lives, and could y'all consider listening to some of my lives while you either cooking, put it on while you go to the shower, and just run my numbers up. I'm trying to get to my first 1,000 watch hours. And it seemed like these last couple of 100 hours is so hard to come by. So my numbers are not matching the likes. So could y'all please hit the like button? I can't see, but I can see when the number goes up. But hopefully she can wait until Friday. Okay, so it could be any day now. Hey Gloria, how you doing? Uh, Hopefully, uh, baby will wait till Friday, the 13th. I was born on the 13th, so that's a good day. That's a good number. It's not a superstitious number. Um, as a matter of fact, I get excited when the 13th falls on a Friday. I used to think of it as superstition, but then I say, hey, numb nut, you was born on on the 13th. So I get excited when my birthday falls on a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday. Um, I think this year, let me see, the 11th is Thursday, 12th, 13th. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So my birthday falls on a Saturday this year, and I will be on a cruise. I always wanted to be on a cruise or a trip for my birthday. So I will be on a cruise. I leave on the 11th. So I don't know if I'm about Wi-Fi to be able to talk to y'all or upload some shorts. It depends on how much it is. The last time I went on a cruise, my cousin, myself, and my dad, we all split the plan so that my cousin can talk to her kids and my dad could watch, kind of keep up with current events and stuff like that. But I had nothing. I would, no, take it back. I would watch Roz on YouTube, and anybody that I supported on YouTube while I was on my cruise at night, I would go back and listen to the replays and stuff. But I don't know if I want to spend that additional money for that. Um, my thing is, once I pay for my cruise, I'm cruising. I do spend some extra money if I decide to have me like a frozen drink or something. Strawberry daiquiri is what I like. So I just usually pay as I go as far as that is concerned. Um, this year, me and my cousin gonna have to come up on a soda that where we can divide because she had a 12 pack, I had a 12 pack. That was entirely too many sodas we had, and we didn't nearly drink half of it, so we had to lug that stuff back. So I figure if we go half on a 12 pack, uh, whatever we drink, we'll just bring the rest back and then bring us a bottle of wine or something like that. I don't know how that's gonna work because me and her cut the food without any drinking involved. I mean, we laugh so much, it's ridiculous. Um, since I'm just talking about believing what somebody do, it's not anything bad. Some of it'll be bad, but um, I have a problem with my back. I have discovered right before I went on this cruise almost 3 years ago that I had four pinched nerves in my back and arthritis. I would hear people, the older people, talk about arthritis in their leg or their knee or their arm or something like that. I never knew you could get arthritis in your back. I guess you can get it anyway. You can get it in your toes, your fingers, or whatever. So I learned of that probably about a month before I went on my cruise. So the doctor gave me a steroid shot and said that that should help or whatever. But what I did was my mom had a purchased her a scooter. So I told my dad, I said, okay, um, since we're gonna go on this cruise, uh, plug the scooter up. And I know I think I've told this story, but some people ain't been on here before. Could y'all hit the like button, please? I would greatly appreciate it. So he was supposed to plug the scooter up so that I could use it on the cruise because, mind you, about 7 days I had maybe 10 days I had got the injections in my back, the steroid shots. So he said he plugged it up. I kept saying, Dad, plug it up. I didn't plug it up. We get to the dock to unload everything. I'm getting ready to think I'm getting ready to get on the scooter. Scooter wouldn't start up. Scooter, I charge it up and I charge it up. And so we like, you couldn't have charged it up because it would be on. And well, the light would come on and it would go off. Okay. So I'm like to myself, Lord have mercy. What am I going to do? Because my back had already started. I took some pain medicine ahead of time because I had some for something else. And so I took some pain medicine ahead of time. But it seemed like when we got, I don't know if it was the water or what, but it just seemed like when we got there, my back started hurting worse. So, from the anybody that's been on a cruise, once you unload your luggage, and you got to walk to the start checking in and everything. And I'm like, how am I gonna make it? Not only to get to the part to check in, but to the part to even get on the ship, walk up the ramp, do any of that. So Angels was watching after me. One of the ladies, my sister-in-law's sister friend, did not come. She had ordered a scooter. And so my sister, so I'm holding up the pillar outside, and I had this look on my face of disgust and hurt because at this time I had already started hurting. So they kept asking me what was wrong with me. I said my back is killing me already, and and they kept like, you took something? I say yeah. I said I took a Tylenol with codeine. I say yeah, I took something, and I was about to get ready to take something else. So I was just up there, and then so sister saw me over there, and she said, "What's wrong?" And I told her, and she said, "Well, my friend is not coming. Would you like to use her scooter to get on the ship?" I said, "Oh, thank God. Oh, thank you. Yes, yes, please. You don't mind?" She said, "No," because she was gonna use it, but she offered it to me, and I was like, "Thank God. Oh Lord, you just don't know." So we proceed to get on the ship, check in and everything. I'm riding the scooter and stuff like that. Um, so she let me keep it that day. And I was like, oh, I kept telling my cousin, oh, this is so nice. And when we got to the room, they delivered the luggage. They did not. So we got my mom's scooter and we plugged it up soon as we got there. My cousin, this was her first cruise. She was so excited, I guess, to get in the room to see what it was. I had paid for a birthday surprise. On the door, before she even walked in there, it said happy birthday. She didn't see that. She walked in there, the streamers was coming down from the ceiling. She didn't see that. She was so busy trying to get our luggage in because she knew my back was bothering me, to get our luggage in there. She didn't pay attention to nothing. I say, girl, you don't see nothing? Cause I kind of got offended. I didn't pay this extra $75 to $100 to get this room decorated, and you walk in there like nothing. So then she stopped and she say, what? Now, mind you, she say, what? Doing this to the streamers. What? I said, what you just put your hand on? She said, and she looked up. She said, what is all this in the room? I say, it's streamers for happy birthday. I said, you didn't see that big sign outside? She said, my cousin talk, Louisiana talk different than Texas. She say, man, what sign outside? I said, girl, go outside and come back in. So when she went outside, she said, go, I didn't know that sign was out there. No. I say, yeah. I said, what you think them things coming down from the ceiling? You think we're in a broke room? And she started looking at it and reading it, and it was saying happy birthday. I said, now look over here to the window. I said, you see that little party hat up there? And she was like, oh, I didn't see all of this. Then on the desk, it had a cake. So I opened the thing. I said, happy birthday. She said, oh my God, where all this stuff come from? I say, your damn roommate. She said, cuz you did all this for me? I say, yes. This is your first cruise. This is on your birthday, and I wanted to make it special for you. Oh, her mind was blown, just blown from that point. And then I felt good. I said, well, okay, well, she didn't see all the effort and the stuff that, and then of course, you know how they put the little animals on the bed and stuff, and she was fascinated behind that, and she had a good time. And so I say, let's get some things clear. I say, since I retired, I no longer get up early in the morning. I get up when I want to get up. I say, and I know you probably gonna want to get up to go eat breakfast and everything. I say, I'll get up some mornings with you and we'll go eat breakfast. Welcome everybody coming in. Can y'all hit the like button while you're listening? Let me see. Let me acknowledge y'all. Hey Tracy. Hey, happy Black History Month. I meant to say that the other day. Hey Helen, how you doing? So, oh, you going in November. Her birthday is in November. We may end up going back again for her birthday. Because she did like the idea of once you pay for your cruise, you don't have to worry about your food or anything like that. And each person can bring a drink, like a bottle of wine or whatever. I mean, you can bring one of my friends put one in her boot. She had a bottle, but it ain't that serious for me as far as drinking. Yeah, we going to Cozumel, which I've been to Cozumel. If you leave from the same dock and the same port every time, you pretty much gonna sell the same cruises, unless sometime you leave on a different day or you go on a longer cruise. My It's Cozumel and Progreso. That's the cruise I took with my class. My class, we went on when we went on a cruise with the class. But me and my roommate was so tired from call ourselves staying up late and partying with the other people, till when we got to Progreso, I looked over there. I say, "You getting up?" She looked at me. She said, "Mm-mm." So I say, "Well, good enough for me, because shit, I'm still sleepy too." She went back to sleep with her Pillsbury Dough bonnet on her head, and I went back to sleep, and we slept. I don't know what time we woke up that day. We wasn't worried about eating, nothing. We got us some good rest, so we missed Progreso. So this time I'll get a chance to get off at Progreso. And our classmates told us we didn't miss too much, because they said at the time, get when we went, if we went in June or July, but it was real hot, and they said it was real hot when they got off. And I'm saying, ooh, I'm glad I didn't get off and go or whatever. But yeah, so I did get up and be the big cousin. Hey, Mimi. And got up and went to breakfast with her a couple of times. But after that, I said, I ain't getting up, because I don't have to eat breakfast. I eat once a day, and normally it's in the afternoon. So I told her, or I'll eat lunch. I did eat lunch with her, or as a family, and then we all ate dinner as a family every night, family and friends. But she liked bacon. So she wanted to get up in the morning to go get bacon. I say, baby, knock yourself out, because I'm not getting up to go eat no damn bacon. She like meat, period. So I say, knock yourself out, because I'm not getting up. And I didn't. Like I said, I think I got up 2 times, maybe 3. But after, no, I ain't get up. And I think, I remember telling y'all that, because I remember telling y'all that my dad trip was paid for him to go. He said he wasn't going, because his thing is, I can't drink all that water. You can't eat all them clouds either. You can't eat up all this traffic out here either, but you do it. So anyway, more of the story, he went on the cruise. He had a wonderful time. And why did he feel the need to knock on our door at 8 o'clock in the morning, every morning? He gets up like a spring chicken, and he goes to bed early. Boom, 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 like he the police. And my cousin say, man, who that is banging on that door? I say, your uncle. I hadn't even opened my eyes. I said, your uncle. Man, what do you want this early in the morning? What time is it? I say, good, probably about 8 o'clock. We look at our clock. That's what time it was. I opened the door. What y'all doing? Y'all still sleep? Yeah, we still sleep, Daddy. Oh, well, you think he would get the drift and go on by his business? He commenced to come in the room and sat down. I get back in the bed, my cousin's still in the bed, and he sat down wanting to ask questions. I said, Daddy, don't you see we still sleep? We ain't really talking to you. Oh, so what that mean? That mean y'all want me to leave? Please. Please. Yeah, leave. So when we got up and started talking about it, y'all sleep late. Y'all sleep late. What we getting up early in the morning for? Well, yeah, we did miss a lot of the stuff on the itinerary. We didn't follow the itinerary. We just did what we wanted to do and just was free willy nilly. So, Gloria, they do have itineraries on the ship. Are you going on Carnival or are you what ship you cruising? That one where we was on Royal Caribbean, and we actually had the itineraries each day on our phones because my sister-in-law, one of her sisters, is a travel agent. So we had the itineraries each day as to what went on, and we could just kind of see what was what. All that yoga, exercise, and all that stuff that went over my head. Walking around the ship, whatever they did. Yeah, Carnival slipped. I don't know if they still do it now. They would slip your itinerary under your door. So everything that's going on the ship at a certain time, it's on that itinerary. You don't have to follow the itinerary. You do what you want to do. So she told me this time, we're going to have to find bingo. I say, yeah, we sure are. Yeah, because I want to play some bingo. Want to do a little gambling on the ship and see if I can win me some money. But yeah, every morning until about the third morning, I told him, I say, Daddy, don't you come back around here no more at no 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, do y'all think that did him any good? He just came at 10 o'clock. Y'all still ain't up? Why are you worried about if we up or not? Go find you something to do. So what he did, he would walk around and then he would go on the Lido deck. He spent most of his time on the Lido deck because they had like sports on the big screen. So he would get in one of them lounge chairs and get him some ice cream and cop a squat at the Lido deck. And that was him until it was time to go eat, and he would check with one of us. Or we knew where to find him every day. And I told him, I said, why you don't go knock at your son's door? Why? Oh, I don't know what room they in. I said, but you talk to them every day. Why don't you ask them? You come here every morning. So needless to say, he never stopped coming. He just would come at 10 o'clock. Yeah. And they start at about 7 o'clock, Gloria. The itinerary starts at about 7 o'clock with things to do. So, especially with the walking around and all of that, walking around, and we took pictures and stuff, but we were on Royal Caribbean. But on Carnival, yeah, there's a lot of things. It's a lot of things to do with, and with the itinerary and stuff. And it depends on how big your ship is. Because now they got these monster ships with all kind of stuff on there with zip lining and go-karts and well, I think all of them have the putt golf and little rock climbing like for the kids and stuff like that. But they got wave pools. So it depends on what ship you go on. We will be going on the Breeze, and that'll be my first time going on the Breeze. That I can remember. But yeah, and on that little, I had enough nerve to be riding that cart around the pool area. And so we coming back, one incident, we coming back to the room or whatever. I get right outside no, I didn't get right outside the door. Yeah, I got right outside the door and the scooter stopped. And I'm like, hey, ADHD, how you doing? And I'm like, wow. I said, this thing won't work. I said it won't cut back on or whatever. And so, timely matter, my niece, her husband, and my two great nieces were walking up. And so I stopped my nephew because he's a chemist. So I figured he ought to be able to see what's wrong with this thing. So I say, hey, I say, my scooter stopped. And so he say, well, what's wrong with it? I said, I don't know. So I got off of it. Well, before I got off of it, I told my scooter stop. Well, he was holding my little niece, which couldn't have been no more than about 16 months, good enough to make sounds or whatever. She looks down at me from her dad holding her up. She looks down at me, and at a time to matter, she said, "Uh-oh." Was like, I I looked up at her. I was like to myself, how in the hell she know to say "uh-oh"? But I know that was a word that she knew how to say because I have kept her before while they've been on a cruise. And I have a video with her just saying, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. But it was such at a timely manner that she looked down at me and said, uh-oh, like she knew what was going on. So I gets off the scooter and everything, and he looked. He said, it's full of water. I said, oh. That's probably what it is. So he said, you have a towel? So he took the battery out. He patted dry and everything. And he said, that's what it is, got water all up. And I said, that's when I was riding around that pool area, not thinking that the water was kicking back on the scooter. So he got it dry and everything and put it back in. And I backed the scooter up. I said, oh, okay, it's working now. I say, thank you, nephew. So they go on to their room or whatever. So my cousin opened the door. So I swing out to come in the room. I get right in the door. The scooter stopped. I'm pushing the button, trying to go back, go forward. I'm stuck. Anybody been on a cruise? Those rooms are really just not that big, especially if we were in an inside room. So I couldn't step off the scooter to get off. The door was right there holding the door. The wall and the closet was there. I was in a tight jam. I'm just stuck sitting there. Well, I tell my cousin, hey, I'm stuck. She say, you stuck? Man, how you get stuck? I say, I guess the thing just stopped again. You think she came? You think that witch came help me up? Hey, ask Granny. That witch fell out laughing in the bed, fell back in the bed laughing. First, I was laughing with her. She was laughing. Oh, she laughed for about 10 minutes. And then she kept asking me, you stuck? I say, I just told you I was stuck. She asked me that about 3 times. Oh, she just laughing. She cracking up, laughter, just all in the bed. And then she decides to get her camera phone. And she aiming it at me. And I knew she was getting ready to take a picture and was going to post me on Facebook. I say, if you take my picture while I'm stuck in this doorway, I say, I'm going to kill you. I say, tonight it's going to be a murder on this ship. And you going to be the one that's going to be it. I swear to God. I swear to God, you take my picture, I'm going to kill you in this room. Oh, she fell out laughing. I say, you can laugh, hee, hee, ha, ha, hell. I say, you can do all that if you want to, but I swear to God, I'm going to kill you in this room tonight. Tonight. So, finally, she got her laugh out, and she pulled the front of it, and my cousin is strong. Hey, Yo-Yo, how you doing? Hey, Michelle, how you doing? She pulled me out the doorway. And then I was able to get off and plug it up so for it to get some juice. But I told her, I say, if you take my picture while I'm stuck in this doorway, I said, I'm going to kill you night. I say, you're going to wake up dead. I say, I mean that. I say, do not take my picture. I said, because the first thing you want to do is post it on Facebook. And I say, they just ain't gonna know that they gonna have another cousin that's gonna come up, not back. Your children ain't gonna have a mother. So she didn't. She knew I was serious. But after that, we laughed, and I say, instead of you trying to help me out the door, all you want to do is just sit there and laugh at me. Yeah, I was hurting that cruise from that because I think the day before or earlier when we was on it, we were coming from dinner, and soon as I left at the dinner hall, the scooter stopped. There were no plugs nowhere near. So I say, you need to go get some of the men and tell them to come push me. She say, what? Man, what you talking about? I say, you need to find some to come and push me. This thing to stop. What we gonna do? We on such and such flow way down the hall. Once you get on the flow, get off of there, girl. I said, well, what you gonna do? I'm just gonna pull it to the room. So I got off and she pulled the thing up and she pulling it. Mind you, I don't know if that was good or bad, because I could barely walk. My back is like a catch in the bottom. I was hurting so bad till when we got on our floor, I was hugging that wall. And it had a rail. And I was like Spider-Man or Batman, one of them. I was scaling that wall, just going slow as I could, just holding the wall, just going slow as I could. And then I would hold it going slow as I could. Y'all, that was the longest haul. Because she said, you doing good. I say, because she said, well, I got to go and use the restroom. I said, yeah, I wish I could get to the room to go use the restroom. So she went in there. She pulled a scooter in there, plugged it up, used the restroom. She's still way down the hall coaching me. I'm scaling this wall with my back hurting. I'm just trying to get to it. I said, Lord, please let me. Please send some angels to help me, Lord. Lord, please. Oh, my back was killing me. I was like wanting to tell her, bring my purse and bring me some water, some medicine or something. I scaled that wall. I know it took me 15 minutes to get down the hall where I can really just see her. I could see her. And she probably was no more than about 4 or 5 rooms down. But my back was killing me so bad. I wanted to say, I don't know what kind of medicine that doctor used, but it didn't work. I scaled that wall and I scaled that wall. When I got there, I was almost in tears. She said, a little bit more, little bit more. I said, God damn, how much little bit more gotta go? I said, look like the closer I'm getting to you, the further the room look. Oh my God. That was the worst feeling. Boy, when I finally got in that room, I say, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I laid in that bed. I say, if this thing don't charge up, I ain't getting out no more. Hey, Roger Queen, how you doing? Yeah, I said, this thing don't charge or don't keep no charge. I'm not getting out no more. So the next night when we left, it charged up like 100%, and I was good, the rest of the time. Mind you, sister-in-law's sister asked me, did I want to keep it? I say, yeah. And I say, well, how much is it? That was about, was it $250 or $350? I had not planned on spending, but I had to pay it. I said, well, tell you what, this wasn't in the budget on the trip, so let me give you half now. And if I don't spend all my money I plan on spending, I'll give it to you. I'll give you the rest. I'm good for it. Because if I wasn't good for it, my brother was going to do it. He wasn't going to let that go down like that. But I was good for it because I was saving I had money to go, just enough money well, I ain't going to say just enough money, but my spending money was going on silver jewelry. That's what I want to go to. The cruises, I like the cruises for the atmosphere, the people, food. It don't make no difference because I may eat one plate. I'm not going back up to the buffet several times. I fix what I'm gonna eat, and then that's it. I don't get back up. I look and see what I want. And the good thing about Royal Caribbean, they were very attentive. Once I got in the dining room and I was trying, it's like people have a different attitude and about themselves, because people that didn't know me, if I needed to get up to get condiments or whatever I needed, these people saw me getting up off that school. Man, what is it that you're needing? Let me get it for you. Just the other cruise people. Then they had other I guess the people working the dining room. They wasn't the waitresses or waiters. They were, I guess, the supervisors supervising the stations and stuff. Ma'am, what do you want? And they would take my plate and say, well, what is it that you want on your plate? And would actually fix my food for me. I I was like, wow. I was so grateful and so thankful for that. Even though I was capable of fixing my own food, and then my cousin, hey, cuz, what you want? You know, and other relatives that was there or whatever, they was like, and I could get up and I could walk, but it got to the point, if I walked so far, that catching my back started hurting. Um, yeah, so yeah, X Green, I'm going for my birthday. Hey, Red Velvet, how you doing? So, it's a it's some good people out there. It's good people out there. And like I said, the cruise was excellent. Um, I've told the story before. My dad probably almost would have got us locked up in the ship jail, because my dad is country. I love him to death. But sometimes it's understanding and what he hearing and what they saying is two different things. My cousin had already went through getting off the ship. I come next, which they still made me get off so they can warn me and all that. Here come daddy. They reading his name off his passport. And they're reading it, they have that kind of like language barrier or thick accent. My daddy said, who you saying? And the man was reading his name, like John Wayne, but might have been reading it faster. Who? John Wayne. Young Yang. The man say, no, Young Wayne. Yang Yang. And after about 3 times, them trying to tell them what they was reading his name, man, that ain't my name. He steady going. I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to get off. And then I'm like, well, he holding up the line. So I look back, and he going back and forth with the man about what his name was. I say, Daddy. He say, well, the man keep calling me the wrong name. That ain't my name. Well, the man looking at your driver's license and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, what is he saying? I say, sir, what are you saying that his name is? So he read it, and I understood it. I say, Daddy, he said, John Wayne. Well, that ain't what I heard. I say, well, Daddy, that's what he said. The man said your name. No, come on off of this ship before you get us thrown in the jail. Boy, I say, Lord have mercy. I say, you was getting ready to get us put in the little jail on the ship. I say, they got one. I said, they got a jail, they got a morgue, they got everything. They got the hospital. I said, they got all that stuff on here. I said, we was going to be in the jail. Why I told that to my brother and sister-in-law. Both of them are Geminis. They like night and day on certain things. But when something is funny, both of them get to laughing and giggling, and they just get. We told them that at the dinner table. I thought my brother and sister-in-law was going to slide under that table laughing. They was like, what? They was like, oh, no. I know. Them people saying John Wayne and you saying that ain't your name. My brother said, well, what do you think your name was? He said, you know, them people have a thick accent, and it's, you know, they have a thick accent, and some have a little language barrier. But the man was saying your name. I said, y'all, if I wouldn't have looked back and if I wouldn't have paid attention to what was going on, I say, I look back lying way back there. I was so ashamed. I was so ashamed. Lying just backed up with him for 5 minutes at that station, trying to understand what that man was saying and telling that man that that was not his name. And it didn't get no better because the little one that was the one that was right there next to him, you know, kind of supervising and overlooking stuff, he was saying the same thing. And my dad instead of saying that ain't my name. I don't know what name that is y'all talking, what kind of language y'all talking, but that ain't my name. I said, Lord have mercy. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, please, Lord, let us get off this ship. So I had to give him I said, Daddy, you know them people don't talk like we do. If the man came close to what your name was, yeah, that's your name. Get you off the ship. If he's saying your name to let you off of that, get off the ship. All you need is your little tag to get back on the ship. Get off the ship. We held the line up for about 5 to 10 minutes, waiting on him. So we finally got off. And we went shopping or whatever. But yeah, it was so funny. My brother, we almost had to pull them from getting up under the table from laughing. We all was laughing. Our stomachs was hurting, laughing till we were crying. Dad, I know you didn't do that. And he's sitting up there looking goofy. Why, that man wasn't saying my name right, and that ain't my name. I was like, okay, y'all just let it go. Y'all just let's just let it go. Cause I say this is a battle and a fight we not gonna win. Y'all know Daddy. He could have been saying his name right and spelling it. And he up there spelling his name, and the man say, yeah, that's what I said. No, that ain't what you said. That ain't what you said. When the man said your name and then spelled it out to you, then that's what he said. So I said, no. So, yeah. So he had a good time on the ship. When he got off the ship, I think he went shopping and he bought him some belts, I think some alligator skin belts. And he bought him a pair of shoes and a belt. And then gonna tell me when I caught back up with him and my cousin, because they went sit down because I was back there with the jury dealing. He said, man, I should have got that other color belt too. I say, Daddy, go ahead and get it. You're not gonna be coming back. We're not gonna be coming back to this dock. We're gonna dock somewhere else, and they may not have the same stuff. My daddy's tighter than 10 toes in a sock. I had to convince him to go get the other color belt because he already had a pair of shoes here to go get the belt to match his shoes. But yeah, he tighter than 10 toes in a sock. He worked all his life, and it ain't no reason for him to be that way. He got the money to spend and buy what he want, but he'll pass up all kind of eating places and then get home and say, man, I should have got me something to eat. I say, you sure should have. You was there. You didn't pass up all these eating places to go home and then to say you gonna eat a bologna sandwich, or you gonna cook you some eggs and rice or something like that. I say, but you passed up all these places. You don't have to do that. Where's he going this year? Grant, he ain't going to no place. He gonna stay right here at home. He ain't going on no cruise this year. He ain't going with us. It's me and my cousin going. And my brother just touched down. They went on a 7-day and they flew into Puerto Rico. And it was him, my sister-in-law, her sister, which is the travel agent, husband, and I'm not sure what other couples went. But yeah, and when they, of course, she will get good rooms and whatever. Cause I told her something I want in the room, and she said, "Oh, well, that's gonna be such and such." I said, "Never mind, I ain't paying that kind of money for that." She worked her magic, and she said, "It's done." I say, "So how much is?" She said, "Don't worry about it." Thank you, sister-in-law, sister. Thank you, thank you. So they are going. No, they want to go to Italy, which the sister-in-law sister and the other sister, they already, and a friend or something, they're booked to go to Italy, to Rome and cruise for, I think it's 7 days, but they're gonna be cruising Greece, the wherever, but they flying into Italy. And the cheapest deal was like almost $2,000 per person, but that wasn't including flight. And I tried to get old cousin to be my roommate, and she's like, "Good, now you know I ain't paying that kind of money, no." I say, "Why not?" I say, you could do it." I say, "If anybody can't do it, it's me." I say, "But if Uncle Sam do me right this year, I sure can, and I can start paying on it, now." And my brother told my sister-in-law, he said, "We ain't going either." And that just crushed my sister-in-law hard. And she say, "We going." I say, "I know." Because every time he say they ain't going, she don't say nothing. And then next thing you know, "Well, we got to pay this. We got to see about our budget and blah, 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 blah." I bet he already put off at work for them days off. Because that's one thing he enjoy is a cruise. Because he don't have to worry about the amount that he have to eat or whatever. Now they gonna work out and stuff on the ship. They'll work out on there, but he gonna enjoy himself eating because he loves to eat. So they'll probably be going to Italy, and I'll be mad because I didn't get a chance to go because I didn't have a roommate. But um, I think they're going back to Alaska next year, and I told, "Look, y'all need to say what if you're gonna do it, so I can go ahead and start putting my stuff on layaway. I don't have it like y'all have it, and I would like to go." I would like to cruise, which they did do a cruise to Alaska. And she said this cruise was gonna be when they go where the glaciers start to fall into the water, and it's supposed to be some um it's a special cruise or something where you would be able to see that happening. And so she said, "Oh, we got to get a balcony room to see that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to see all that ice falling into the water and all that." But they went and they enjoyed it. She booked them on a one of the excursions, uh, a crab ball once they got over there, a seafood ball. And they said them Alaskan crabs ain't nothing like what we see over here. My brother said, "I ain't never seen no crab legs that big and that long in my life." He say, "But when I tell you they were seasoned and buttered down," he say they were good. He said, "I've never seen them that big before." I say, "Yeah, because we don't get them over here that big. They get them at to um a certain length over here, but we probably wouldn't want to pay the price for that." I don't know if y'all watch B Love's Life that does those seafood balls, and she does the what she get Larry the crab, or she names them or whatever, but it may be a 13-pound uh Alaskan crab, or I think the biggest one she had was a 15-pound. And they freeze dry them or freeze them and stuff, and uh like overnight them or whatever, but they still be live when she get them. And because one time she took one out and she was scared because it was so big, it was huge. But after she did it for a couple of times, it didn't bother her, but it was so huge, the crab that she had sent over, and they be pretty expensive uh $500 and $600, $700 for a crab. But she, you know, it's for YouTube, her content or whatever, and she would get those. But my brother said that over there, when you over there, they do have those big crab legs, and they are big and huge, and he said they are good. And then the different shows and stuff that they have. So yeah. But that was that about the cruise. I did want to talk to y'all about something else. Oh, the drama still goes on. Oh yeah, the Super Bowl tomorrow. So I know everybody gonna be plugged into the Super Bowl. I'll probably be at somebody's store shopping or looking around. I haven't been invited to anybody's Super Bowl party. Um, hey Virgo, welcome over. Glad to see you coming back. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Y'all new people that I haven't that's in the bushes, can y'all subscribe? And my plea to everybody is, can you, if you're taking the shower, put one of my videos on. If you're washing clothes, you're cleaning up, let one of my videos play. I'm trying to get to my first 1,000 hours. I'm almost there, but not quite there. You know how you can almost be there, but then be that far back. So, and check out some of my shorts and things of that nature, to get me out there in the algorithm, and get me out there. Keep me coming out. I enjoy coming out here talking to y'all face to face. Tonight, I didn't really, have a particular topic. I just said I'll just talk about whatever. But the drama still, unfolds in the Erda plot. Now another party is coming out saying that trying to be to the point is boastful. Yeah, I said I'd go. Yeah, if she was gonna go, I was gonna go with her. Trying to make the person that really holding the cards with the videos and the recordings, trying to kind of punk her to not put the stuff out. But they don't know that the person that holds the cards and the recordings and all of this, you can't intimidate her. And if she want to put it out, she's going to put it out. And she said she was going to put more out in the shorts of the girl putting her itinerary, the flight itinerary on the short, to prove that's what she was going to do. So I want some of the people that know about it to put it in the group, some of the information. And I was nonchalant about it. The FBI number again, but I need people's names. I can't go just calling, can't call with just nicknames and things of that nature. We need the people's names, and I know the channels and stuff of that nature, to see, and I'm pretty sure they've got other complaints, but I do know the more complaints they've gotten, they would look into it. And it may not go anywhere, or they may receive a knock at the door and talk to these people, because people like that, when they start doing threats, idle threats, making threats, plans, preparations, and things of that nature, they do put them on a watch list. I do know that. They'll put them on a watch list, and they'll start watching them and tapping in on them from time to time to see if they have made any kind of moves or whatever. And this young lady is an embezzler. She didn't embezzle money from her company, but you yet still trying to plot and plan over on a prosecutor, an officer of the law. You want to murder her or do some harm to her. You've been obsessed over this young lady. You 55 years old. This young lady is about 30, 33, 34, and a prosecutor. And you wanna unalive her. and you've made it known through a group, and y'all have had group sessions about it, and you somebody from the group has actually gone where this young lady exercises at and was out there one day when the lady was exercising. So you don't know if she hired that person to do something to her or just to scope it out or whatever. But an officer of the law, which there was another young lady that got in trouble and went to court, and she's saying on live, they talk too much on YouTube, and made a comment on YouTube. Yeah, when I go back to court, I'm going to paint the court red. So what you mean you're going to paint the court red? You're going to paint it red, white, and blue? You're going to be patriotic? You going to go and call yourself, going to unalive yourself and everybody in the courtroom? So guess what? She in bigger, worse trouble now. In addition to what she was going to court for. Because when you said that, you already was in trouble for aggravated assault. Years down the line, this lady has passed. We don't know if that lady, years down the line, passed from stress of not being able to do the things that she was used to doing, or what led to it. But anyway, this lady passed, what, I think last year, and you don't have no remorse or don't feel bad for it or whatever, but you going back and forth to court, and you said that that's what you was gonna do. So yeah, bullying and harassing on the internet, for a few clicks and views, because the money is getting good to you and you get more people to watch your channel. But you have to be careful. Some people, even though that person may not read too much, the person that you plan on doing something to may just say, oh, they just talking or whatever. Other people may feel that was awful and action need to be taken, and it's taking action. So them people with them 3 letters, from my understanding, have already been contacted and reports have been made. So they making it on behalf of the prosecutor. Whether the prosecutor choose to do nothing about it, it's still going to draw attention to the people, to the person that made the threat, to the person, your co-partner that say, yeah, I'd go with her. Yeah, I'm saying I was going to go with her and blase. Now you because you think nothing can happen to you. Yes, something can happen to you because you was in that private group and y'all was all discussing it. And now you come out on a public platform and you want to say, yeah, I said I was going to go with her. And if that was what she was planning on doing, how dumb are you? That goes to show people, a loud mouth, but a loud, empty wagon. That's how you put that. One of the wagon that's making all that noise, and you can't really do nothing with it. That's the way I kind of look at it. I don't know. But I got to catch the news tonight, and then I'm going to church in the morning. I will be praying for all of y'all, as if y'all pray for me. Y'all can let me know on the videos what kind of stuff y'all want me to talk about, or what we gonna chat about. I did say when I get to my first 1,000 watch hours, y'all wanted to know what my last job was, and I said I probably would share it at that time. And then I want to do a drawing for the people that actually drops down in my chat and have a conversation with me and stuff. But I appreciate everybody for coming over, watching. Yeah, empty wagon makes a lot of noise. Yeah, definitely. or empty can kicking it down the street make a lot of rattling noise. Blah 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 blah. All of that. So with that being said, I am Classy Lady. Thank y'all for coming over. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. Hit the like button. Consider watching some of my shorts, my videos. Run those videos. Let them play. And to get me up so I can get on over this hump of this first 1,000 hours. And then we'll go from there. I appreciate y'all coming over. Angels on everybody's pillow. I love you. And I will talk to you later.